fun.
Welcome to Sunday school.
Sup, church family. Today's song will be Mighty to Save. Everyone needs compassion, a love that's never failing. Let mercy fall on me. Everyone needs forgiveness, the kindness of a Savior, the hope of nations. He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Take me as you find me, all my fears of failure. Fill my life again. I give my life to follow everything I believed in. Now I surrender. He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light and let the whole world see. We're singing for the glory of the risen King. Savior, He can move the mountains. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, author of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave.
Hello everyone, welcome to Story Time. My name is Ivy. Today, our story is going to be on Noah's Ark and how God helped Noah through the storm. So, let's take a look. Lots of time went by after Adam and Eve were sent out of the garden. Lots of people got married and children were born. But the people did not love God. In fact, they acted like there wasn't a God at all. They were filled with hate and were always fighting and hurting with each other. God became so angry that he wished he had never made people, except for one man. There was a man named Noah whose heart was soft towards God. The Bible says that Noah walked with God, which means he heard and obeyed God. He had a wife, and he had 3 sons who had wives too. Well, one day, God had an amazing conversation with Noah. God told Noah about how people were disobeying God and making horrible choices. So God had decided that all the people on earth were going to have to be destroyed. Seriously, it was that bad. And that is really bad. God told Noah that he was going to make it start raining. It would keep raining and raining and raining and raining for so long that the whole world would be covered with water and everything would die. But because Noah had his heart for God and walked with God, he and his family would be saved. God told Noah how to build an absolutely humongous boat that would float on top of the water. And then he told Noah to plan 2 of every kind of animal from the ground to come on the boat with him and his family. They would be on the boat for a really long time, so Noah needed to bring enough food for all the people and animals to eat. Noah followed God's instructions and built the boat. And can you imagine how stinky that boat was after a while? Ugh! And it happened just like God said it would happen. The animals arrived, a boy and a girl animal of every kind that walked on earth or flew in the sky. They all joined Noah and his family on the gigantic boat. Then, the Bible tells us that God shut the door of the boat and sealed them in. It rained and rained for 40 days and 40 nights. When it finally stopped, the boat was the only thing left. It was floating on top of the water, which was so high that it even covered the tops of the mountains. Noah didn't know how long it would take for the water to go down, so for months he looked out a window to see if he could see the mountaintops. Finally, after about 10 whole months, Noah could see the tip-tops of the mountains. Not too long after that, Noah sent out a bird 3 times to see if it would come back or if it would find dry land for a new home. After the 3rd time, the bird didn't come back, so Noah opened the door to the boat, and all the animals and his family went out to the dry land. They were the only people and animals left on earth, but they were alive. God had kept his promise to save them. That wasn't the only promise God made, though. He also put a huge rainbow in the sky. The rainbow was a sign that no matter what people do, God would never again destroy the whole world with a flood. And that's a promise he still keeps, and that we can remember every time we see a rainbow in the sky. Wow! God really showed his love and protection for Noah even when there was a gigantic flood. Now, I have a few discussion questions for you guys to talk about with your family. The first one is, what does the rainbow mean? The second one is, how many animals did Noah bring? And the third one is, how did Noah find dry land? Thanks for tuning in to Storytime. Bye!
Today's memory verse comes from Hebrews 11:7, and it says, Noah became an heir of the righteousness that comes by faith. But what does that mean? In this verse, an heir is someone who is picked by God to receive all of his gifts and commandments. But why was Noah picked? Because Noah was righteous, and God is the definition, the very meaning of righteousness. That means that Noah did what was good and right. But how can you be righteous? You can be righteous when you do the right thing when no one is looking. Like if your mom told you not to eat any candy before dinner, but there's a piece of candy on the table, and you could take it without anyone knowing, but you don't. That means you're doing the right thing. Now, how did Noah become an heir of the righteousness? By faith. But what does faith mean? It means by believing in God and following what God says. Now that we better understand the verse, let's read it again together. Noah became an heir of the righteousness that comes by faith.
And now it's time for Silly Songs with Mr. Ed, the part of the show where Mr. Ed comes out and sings a silly song.
Boys and girls, good to see you this time. How many of you won a prize last week for the silly song? Ooh, nice. What did you get? Well, I think this time we should get a prize too. If you memorize all the words and the motions, you should get a prize. So why don't you discuss it now with your parents and push pause right now. Oh, welcome back. Well, our Bible story today is about Noah, and I thought we should have a silly song about Noah. Not too silly, because there's some true parts of the story in it, okay? But look, we're going to learn the chorus first. The name of the song is Rise and Shine. I'm going to sing it a little slow at first. It goes like this. So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Children of the Lord. We're going to give Sarah another chance to get the clapping right, okay? We'll do it a little faster. So rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory. Rise and shine and give... No, you gotta clap. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children of the Lord. Okay, we're not gonna do a retake. This is it. So let me teach you the first verse. Now, who is the main character in the Noah story? Yeah, what is it?
Noah!
Oh yeah. Actually, it's the Lord too.
Oh
so
yeah.
Listen very carefully. The Lord said to Noah, "There's gonna be what? What's it gonna be? A flood." The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. Get those children out of the muddy. Mud. Children of the Lord. It goes like this. The Lord. Well, I'll do it again. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. The Lord said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. Get those children out of the muddy children of the Lord. So rise and shine and give God the glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, children of the Lord. So what happened next after God commanded Noah? He had to build something. It was a boat, remember? And what was the boat called? That's right, the ark. And what did he build the ark out of? That's right, hickory bark. So that's how it goes. Well, Noah, he built him an arky. Noah, he built him an arky. Built it out of hickory barky. You gotta clap. Hickory barky, children of the Lord. Let's sing it. Well, Noah, he built him an arky. Noah, he built him an arky. Built it out of hickory barky, children of the Lord. Well, rise and shine and give God was built, and now what did God command? He wanted all the animals to come in, right? Okay? So, he called for the animals. They came in by two, right? Right? So, he called for the animals. They came in by twosies. Called for the animals. They came in by twosies. Elephants and kangaroosies, children of the Lord. So it goes like this. He called for the animals. They came in by twosies. Called for the animals. They came in by twosies. Elephants and kangaroosies, children of the Lord. And now the clouds came. And it started raining. How many days did it rain? How many?
40!
40, right, Sarah. You are so smart. But you know what? They're inside all the time in quarantine like, and they're going crazy. All those animals were going crazy. So it goes like this. It rained and it rained for 40 daisies, rained and rain for 40 daisies, nearly drove those animals crazies, children of the Lord. It rained and rained for 40 daisies, rained and rained for 40 daisies, nearly drove those animals crazies, children. What happened after 40 days, children? Well, after that, the rain stopped and Noah sent out a bird. Actually, two birds, but we're going to sing about one bird, the dove. It's like a white pigeon, right? To see if it was okay to get out. So, and then Noah, he sent out a dovey. Noah, he sent out a dovey. Sent him to the heavens abovey, children of the Lord. Let's sing it. When Noah, he sent out a dovey. Noah, he sent out a dovey. Sent him to the heavens abovey, children of the Lord. The chorus. So rise and shine and sing out the glory, rise, shine and sing the glory, rise and shine and sing out the glory, children of the Lord. Well, when the clouds go away, what do you see? What?
The sun!
The sun! And all the land becomes dry. All that muddy becomes landy. So here's what the next verse. The sun came out and dried up the landy. The sun came out and dried up the landy. Everything was fine and dandy. If you don't know what dandy means, ask your parents. Children of the Lord, the sun came out, it dried up the landy. The sun came out and dried up the landy. Everything was fine and dandy, children of the Lord. Oh, rise and shine and give God the glory, rise and shine and give God the glory, rise girls, when the land was dry and everything was good, what did they do next? They got off.
Yeah!
Wouldn't you be happy if you can leave home and go play in the park again? Yes. Okay, but it wasn't twosies by twosies anymore. It was how many of each kind? How many?
3!
3? How did that happen? Boys and girls, if you'd like to know, have a good talk with your parents and they'll tell you why they came up by threesies. So it goes like this. The animals, they came off by threesies. Animals, they came off by threesies. Grizzly bears and chimpanzees, children of the Lord. The animals, they came off by threesies. Animals, they came off by threesies. Yeah, grizzly bears and chimpanzees, children of the Lord. No chorus, we're gonna go to the last verse. So it goes like this. That is the end of my story. That is the end of my story. Everything is hunky-dory. Hunky-dory. If you don't know what that means, have a good conversation with your parents. So it goes like this. And that is the end of my story. That is the end of my story. Everything is hunky-dory, children of the Lord. One more time. Oh, rise and shine and give God the glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory. Rise and shine and give God the glory, children of the Lord. All right, boys and girls, see you next week.
Hi guys, I'm Zinnia Kwan.
And I'm Violet.
And today the craft we're going to be making is Noah's Ark. So it's going to look somewhat like this. The parts of this craft are that in this boat, you can actually flip up the windows and see the animals inside. And also you can flip open the sea to see why God sent the flood during this time. Okay, so the supplies we're gonna need for this craft is these 2 printouts that you could find on page 13 in the link below. A piece of light blue cardstock and dark blue cardstock. You're gonna need some scissors, some glue, some tape, and some colored pencils.
Or crayons or markers, whatever you guys like. So for the first step, to make it easier before you cut it, so then you don't have to keep holding the paper down, is to first color your pictures. So for this one, you can color the people, the houses, just everything around it. And then for this one, you can color the ark brown since it's a boat, and then color all the animals. And then these animals will be optional for you to put on, so you can color them too. And then also for the ark, color this side and the back side, because eventually we're gonna flip the ark over on the dotted line, so you're gonna be seeing this side of the ark as well. So you could just color both sides of the ark brown, and then the color for the animals.
Alright, okay, so now that we have both of our pieces colored, we're gonna start cutting. So the first cut we're gonna make is just along the top right here of this paper, and just cut off all that extra white space.
It can be a straight line. And then for this one, you want to cut only along the solid line around the ark, and do not cut on this dotted line. Just cut around the solid line. And then you can also cut out the whale that you're gonna put into the ocean. And these other characters, animals, you can also color them and put them on to the doubles, but you don't have to, it's optional.
Okay, so the cut should end up looking like this. Okay, so we're just gonna take the the whale, and we're gonna glue it on right there.
You can put it on anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere in the water.
Yeah.
And then you could add extra decoration if you would like. Some clouds. Maybe sun. Okay guys, and we're done with the craft. Yeah, so basically a little quick explanation is when you open up the sea, you'll see this picture of people hitting each other, of houses on fire, hurting animals, and that's basically some representation of sin in the world. And if you look at the verse that is written along the picture, it explains what's said in the Bible, that the Lord saw the wickedness of man that was great on the earth, and basically all the sin that was corrupting it. So because the earth was so sinful, God decided to send a flood. But he decided to save Noah and his family through telling Noah to build an ark, and they survived the flood.
Always like this. Beep, 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 beep. That's how I break sleep till I reach and hit the deep, rushing deep and washing face and turn on lights and then I say. And the spoon goes down, down, down. Again, my studio. Then I pour it out, and I say, thank you, God, for your mercies new, for your new mercies, new mercies. Did I ever see? Now everything has to be God's free. Hit the alarm and Russian spray and burn lights, and then I say 1, 2, 3, and the spoon goes down, down, down. I get my studio. Then I pour it out, and I say thank you, God, for your mercies new, for your new mercies, new mercies. Much.